Well, we did it in Chicago at the same studio we did the last record, Groove Master Studios, with the same producer, Johnny K. And I don't know, as far as we spent a lot of time writing songs for the record, and we wrote a ton of songs and a ton of different style songs and stuff. So when we were going into to make the record, I don't know I think there was still some work to be done. We knew that going into the studio. So that was it was actually a fun challenge because a lot of the ideas came out in the studio. We made records where the songs are complete. We just go in and record the ideas and they're done. And then the record like this is like we do a lot of the writing in the studio.
Right. Well, we kind of had settled on maybe a structure and okay, this is the key of it, but some of the parts kind of were you come up with it on the spot, so it wasn't as calculated as our previous records. We kind of just okay, we know it's going to be in E, so when you get there, kind of whatever flows that day. And so I think we achieved what the one goal in my head was, to go there and catch something spontaneous and natural instead of something that was rehearsed.
Right.
We were jamming. We were supposed to have a friend come up and take some pictures of us for a photography project, and hopefully, get some useful photos out of the deal. And so we jammed for a couple hours, and just as he didn't show up, we thought, okay, that's it. Let's just pack up and go home. And we finished packing up, and all of a sudden, he pulls up the driveway at this castle where we were rehearsing. And so we were like, okay, I guess we gotta do something. He came all the way up here, right? So we just started jamming this riff that it was basically, instead of just sitting awkwardly having our pictures taken, let's do something while he's doing it. And this riff happened, and all of a sudden everyone started to get excited about it, and we gave it to Scott. He wrote the words over top of it. Just kind of all spontaneously happened, and probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for our buddy coming up to take pictures.
It was a totally uneventful day too. Up to that point, it was and so it was a real pain in the ass to set up again. It was like, oh, this sucks. But then look what happened. It was one of the best days for our band. So
the very first thing on the record is this guitar that's
strum. Yeah.
If you could demonstrate that and then say something, it's a little bit of an odd way to start a song. I don't know if you want to say anything about that, Jenny.
Well, I think it's actually cut from a later part in the song. It was one of those things where we were reshuffling the song, taking this middle section. What is it like in the beginning? And it just kind of...
That was one of those magic studio moments. It was a little piece that was left there, and it worked. The thing about this song, the bulk of the song was written really naturally and really quickly, but the bridge and the intro to this song were the constant debate through the whole making of this record. To the very last day,
really?
We decided on the beginning of the song. And so it was, like Jay said, it was a chord from the bridge, wasn't it?
Just the beginning of the bridge. Because it was this long guitar intro, just this broken up, bip, 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 bip. And I just lost the vote. I voted for it every time I lost it.
So
I still have an old copy of it that I secretly listen to at night.
So I think
your version, right?
Yeah, I think so. That first chord, I think, is a combination.
E chord,
it's an E chord, right? I think it's on an acoustic too. We took it from the acoustic, and then just let the drums take over from there. Yeah.
And then it's voices
And then there's voices in the background, right?
So on the record I played it down here higher than the 12th fret, just all on the E string. Like that.
And then on the A chord, it sounds like you just added the 4th fret. Yeah,
just on the 4th fret on the G string.
Right.
Just off and on for that one note.
Right.
And then live, I play it here in this on the A strings. Just I don't know why, it's just that I don't have to stretch up there
Right.
in order to do it.
So yeah, I'm pretty much playing the rhythm underneath and doing the chord changes with the bass and staying out of the way of the main riff, but then hooking up with in the middle. So it's just like. So pretty much it was a complimentary thing. I think when we first wrote it, we both were playing that riff. When we recorded it, it needed more depth and it needed to be a little fuller. So that was something that naturally came to be playing just underneath what the riff was. So.
The verse was like a like that, and we kind of cut it up into little pieces with Pro Tools just to make it feel different, to kind of uncountrify it, I guess, or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a lot of those sounds were done with un-guitar-like sounds, so some of it might even be keyboard.
There's a couple that are synthesizers, and then a lot of guitars just sort of whatever worked, whatever was the neatest, most unique sound we could get. So,
cool. So we're kind of emulating like xylophone and keyboards and stuff like that. This is how we do it live, basically. When you're in the studio, you have the luxury of not worrying about any of that.
Right.
And like. So I start with it bent, and then release the bend. So it's. Sounds like a nursery rhyme when you play it slow like that.
Pretty much us trying to be like 70s funky.
Yeah.
What's that sound like? Roller coaster, That's
sure.
what it sounds like.
For sure.
That's where we got that feeling. But it was fun. I mean, that was one of those things like, that's one of those moments you just break down to the drums and the vocals. And we were going to leave it there, but then, why not put guitar in it? You know, pretty much. Like it started off as a vocal drum breakdown, but then when we started playing around with it, it got a bit of more of a groove and more personality when we put the guitar.
Sure.
I think a lot of the guitar parts that I can only speak for myself, but a lot of the guitar parts that I come up with, I'm either stealing from Dave Gilmour or Jimmy Page, probably.
Right.
So that riff, Trampled Underfoot, is easily one of my favorites. So just that groove, and there's nothing really like it. I wouldn't even say that this is like it in so much as how great that is. But that was my first instinct was, we're kind of lifting a little bit of Zeppelin there.